one of the biggest A-list team-ups of the year. And it's coming directly to Netflix. Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot in Red Notice. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Netflix film Red Notice. It is currently #1 on the Netflix streaming chart, and Ryan Reynolds made an announcement, I think after the first day, that it had the biggest premiere for any film in Netflix history. And it makes total sense. Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, I mean, these are three of the biggest action stars and comedy stars out there right now, certainly for feature films. So before we get into this movie, Red Notice, I do want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. Please consider subscribing down below there. Would love to have you as one of my subscribers, and even maybe hit that notification bell to get all of my new TV and movie review videos as soon as they come up. So let's talk about this movie. Here's another one, and I imagine sometime in 2022, I'm going to be able to stop saying, well, this was meant for theatrical release in 2020, but COVID pushed it and blah, blah, blah. But this is another one where that certainly happened, and it makes sense. This was designed for the big screen. It has a $200 million budget, which we don't get a lot of movies in that price range directly for streaming. I think all of the ones we've had so far, maybe The Tomorrow War was in that camp, but there was another one that was, I believe, designed for theatrical release. So this was actually supposed to come out in June of last year, 2020, got moved a couple of times, and then eventually earlier this year, Universal Pictures just sold the rights to Netflix. And it makes total sense because Netflix really is attracting some huge names lately. And it's funny, COVID sort of beefed that up even more because a lot of studios were directing their films elsewhere, and Netflix caught a few of those. But let's talk specifically about this movie. So the plot is pretty basic. Dwayne Johnson plays an FBI agent who reluctantly teams up with Ryan Reynolds' character, who is a notorious art thief, in order to catch an even more notorious criminal, played here by Gal Gadot. And so this was directed by Johnson collaborator named Rawson Mitchell. Wrong again. Rawson Marshall Thurber. Rolls right off the tongue. So they've done Central Intelligence together. They did Skyscraper together. They've done a few movies. And he actually started out really doing more of the straight-ahead comedy stuff. Dodgeball was him. We're the Millers was him. There was a little bit of action in that, but that's, for all intents and purposes, a comedy. But then Skyscraper, that's a straight-ahead drama. Central Intelligence sort of bridges the two. So with a cast like this, Ryan Reynolds, certainly has the comedy routines down at this point. You can sort of anticipate what kind of movie this is going to be. Okay, we saw Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson team up in Hobbs and Shaw. Reynolds was only in like 2 scenes, I think, plus the end credit scene. But that injected really the only life and the only comedy into that movie. I'm sick of the Fast franchise. I really disliked Hobbs and Shaw a lot. But almost the only reason I didn't fail it was because of Ryan Reynolds. He came in, he did his Ryan Reynolds bit, and left pretty quickly. But so I guess people noticed, wow, these guys have great on-screen chemistry. Let's put them in their own movie together, not set in the Fast and Furious world. Thank you for that. But what comes out of this movie is really, I mean, it's the most generic, unoriginal, in any way, shape, or form. The script is not original, the action sequences are not original, the twists are not original. Instead of calling it Red Notice, which is also, by the way, a pretty generic name, you may as well have just called it like generic movie. But here's the interesting thing. I had a really good time watching it. So this is one of these movies where if you told me that it was horrible and you hated it and you would give it like a D, I'd be like, yeah, no, I get it. It's generic. But then if you told me, oh, I loved this movie. It was so fun, so funny. I love the chemistry. I give it a B plus. I would also be like, yeah, all right, no, I can see that. And there's not a lot of movies I feel that way about. Like most movies are either like I could give or take, a few grades here or there, like, oh, I gave it a C, but you gave it a B minus. That seems fair. But this is such a movie that you could give a huge sweeping grade to. Here's the thing. I'm a fan of the Ryan Reynolds shtick. I think you have to be to enjoy this movie. But it did not work for me at all with the hitman's wife's bodyguard or whatever it was, or the hitman's bodyguard's wife. And it's the same character. Ryan Reynolds has been playing the same character for 10 years, 12 years. He and Jason Bateman sort of have that very dry humor with, just throwing off the lines and making it so funny. Bateman, of course, has shifted a little bit into the drama with Ozark and that kind of thing, and he's great at that, too. I'm not sure if Reynolds could necessarily pull off something that heavy. But I think sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And part of it is who you are teamed with. Not that I don't like Samuel L. Jackson or Salma Hayek in The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, but the whole movie was just like them bickering, and they already made that movie in the first Hitman's Bodyguard, which I gave like a C2 or something. This one was way worse because it was just the same thing again. But here he's teamed with The Rock, and I was just saying to somebody the other day that Dwayne Johnson, I think, is very charismatic. He's great to watch on the screen. He's a lot of fun to watch on the screen, right? But he is basically Dwayne Johnson in every movie. And I think a lot of it depends on who he's teamed with. I like the Kevin Hart stuff, Central Intelligence, the Jumanji movies. Those are good. And Emily Blunt with Jungle Cruise. I thought that was a lot of fun. Again, kind of generic, but, sort of a tribute anyway to the African Queen and some of the old, adventure movies. So I liked that. And here, this seems to be kind of the same, but I don't think it's as knowing as Jungle Cruise. I think Jungle Cruise knew it was kind of ripping off all these different movies because, certain scenes were directly lifted out, right? Here, I think maybe they're genuinely trying to do a big budget action tentpole movie without realizing that it's so generic. But I don't think that's necessarily a detraction because all that matters is really how much fun you had while watching it, because the script is so bland, cut and paste, whatever you want to say. Reynolds, of course, injects his humor into it, but all three of these people are basically just playing themselves. Johnson is the hard-headed FBI agent, put upon because Reynolds, is being kind of a butt and, we're best friends, no, we're not. Yes, we are. We have great chemistry together. No, we don't. The back and forth. And then Gal Gadot just comes in and looks beautiful and kind of has that power and aura about her, So I think your mileage is going to vary on this movie more than most this year. But I had a blast watching it. I really did. Even though there isn't an ounce of originality in any of it. So I'm going to sort of shoot it right down the middle. I'm going to give it that slight positive because of my personal enjoyment of the film, and leave Red Notice with a C+. But you got to go into this knowing what's to come. If you're looking for the next, genuine, original masterpiece of an action movie, this is far and away not it. But if you're looking to have a few laughs, if you enjoy the Ryan Reynolds shtick, and sort of turn your brain off for 2 hours, I think this is going to be an enjoyable movie for you. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back here next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.